Shalom everybody, Shalom, and welcome back to Jerusalem, welcome back to Zion. Great to be learning with you again this week. As you'll recall, we learn every week together the weekly Torah portion. This week's Torah portion you'll find at Genesis chapter 28 verse 10 is called Vayetze. And what does that mean? What are we talking about this week? We're talking about Jacob departing. Jacob departing from Beersheba, and where is he going? To Haran. He is leaving Eretz Israel. He is leaving the land of Israel. Why is he leaving, my friends? Well, if we go back to last week, to Parashat Toldot, to the weekly portion of Toldot, we see at the very end, chapter 27 of Genesis, line 41 or verse 41, something interesting. It says here, and I'll read it in Hebrew and then translate. ויסתום עשיו את יעקב על הברכה אשר ברכו אביו ויאמר עשיו בליבו יקרבו ימי אבל אבי והרגה את יעקב אחי. Basically, he's saying this: may the days of mourning of my father draw near. He wants, at this point, he's so upset that he's lost his birthright. He's hoping that his father's death should come soon, and then I will kill my brother Jacob. Rivka, or Rebecca, knowing this, goes to her son Jacob and says, it is time for you to leave and go to my brother Lavan, and there look for a wife or some wives, as it turns out, and continue your life and be safe. He goes to Isaac to get a blessing. Isaac sends him with a beautiful blessing. You'll recall last week we spoke about the very beautiful blessing for the new moon, for the new month. Listen to this blessing that you will find here, chapter 28 of Genesis, line 3. And may the Almighty God bless you and make you fruitful and make you numerous. We hear this a lot in the Torah about having lots of children and building a big nation. And may you be a congregation of peoples. May He grant you the blessing of Abraham to you and to your offspring. Again, that connection back to Abraham, through Isaac, onto Jacob. That's the covenant. That's the lineage. And you may possess the land of your sojourns which God gave to Abraham. Again, the connection back to Eretz Israel, back to the Holy Land, back to Israel. It's being passed on generation to generation. That is the holiness of the land. So Jacob leaves. And interestingly, straight away, as you'll see at the beginning of this week's parasha, the beginning of this week's Torah portion, again, if you open chapter 28 of Genesis, and this time line 10, he departs, and at verse 12, he lies down to rest. And the stones come together under his head to give him support. And what does he dream? And he dreamt, and behold, a ladder, a sulam, as we say in Hebrew, a ladder was set earthward, and its top reached the heavens. And behold, angels of God were ascending and descending. Angels were going up, and angels were coming down. Now that's fascinating. When we think about angels, we think about them coming down from heaven to earth and accompanying us. Now suddenly, Jacob's dream shows us angels going up and leaving Jacob, and new ones coming down. What do we mean by that? So if we remember, Jacob is fleeing. Where is he fleeing from? From Beersheba, a town which is a very large town in Israel today, in the Negev desert. You'll visit it when you come here. But he's left Eretz Israel, and so now Jewish commentators say he needs a new set of angels. You co-equipped with the tools that you need for the new life directions that you take. When we set ourselves up for a new job, when we set ourselves up for a new location to live in, when we travel, any changes in life, we must make sure we're ready. And this is what God's way of preparing Jacob. When you leave the Holy Land, you will find new challenges. When you come into the Holy Land, there are different kinds of challenges, advantages and disadvantages, and all kinds of things going on here. So when he goes out, alone, fleeing from his brother, a new set of angels go with him. And that's why the current angels go up to heaven and return, and a new gang, a new team, a new support team comes down to accompany him. And we'll see later in this week's portion, I encourage you to read it, the great challenges that Jacob has. He goes to his mother's brother, Lavan, is asked to work 7 years to take the hand of Rachel, of Rachel, in marriage, and then he is tricked and ends up marrying Leah, or Leah, and then has to work another 7 years. This is a huge challenge for Jacob, and we'll see later on that his life continues to be somewhat challenging as he loses his son Joseph, only finds out later that he's alive, and again we're seeing the whole family of Abraham and the descendants continue on, but with all kinds of family struggles and difficulties. It's not unlike our reality today. My friends, wherever we are, we're hoping that we have angels there to accompany us. And everywhere we go, we need to look at what's going around us and prepare ourselves properly. Whether we're making Aliyah or we're supporting people who are making Aliyah and coming to live in Israel, or whether we're out in our communities as Jewish people and all peoples, God willing, with God's help, we'll always have angels and help from our friends and our community and our family there with us. I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom, a safe weekend, and we'll join ourselves again next week from Jerusalem to learn again. Shabbat Shalom and thank you.